Hi guys, just got a nice little update here regarding fixing power supplies on a computer. I mean, you can be lucky occasionally. You can be lucky if you're willing to give it a bit of a go. You might not always get an easy solution, but in this case, I came out pretty well, it seems like. I found this gold label 860 watt power supply. A guy was chucking out for scrap metal. I just grabbed it off him. I just said I might use it to cut some of the connectors off for other power supplies. But I thought in my back of my head, you know, I might be able to fix this, you never know. So what I did is I just took it apart and had a look at it. And funnily enough, after watching a lot of videos, a very common problem is these electrolytics. They talk about it a lot. They don't last. And this particular one on the motherboard, that was the only one. It had a tiny, slightly bulging top on it. Very slight, but I could tell all the others were flat, but this one was slightly different. And when I was measuring the diode next to it, it seemed to be open circuit, short circuit both ways, but that was because it's in circuit. So I cut it out of circuit and measured it again. It was actually all right. The big diode, that one just there, and this little electrolytic was that one right there. The only problem with this power supply is you would turn it on at the computer and nothing would happen, absolutely nothing would happen. And the fuse was fine. That fuses are fine. By the way, before you even play with power supplies, you never have this connected to the power ever, I mean ever, because it's still, those two pads there, they're live power, straight in. There's your earth in the middle. That's active and neutral right there. If you touch that, you can electrocute yourself straight away. That switch is after the fact. So obviously when you're playing with power, always disconnect the power fully. Actually don't even rely on turning off the switch at the mains. Don't even rely on that, because some switches, if they're not wired correctly, they'll be switching the neutral, not the active, and you could actually still have active power here, even though it's switched off at the mains, the wall socket, which is crazy, but it happens. It occasionally happens. Shouldn't never happen, but so just pull the plug out. Don't go touching things around here. I mean, it's not too bad, but if you're going to diagnose the board, taking out the screws and such things like that, to do a proper check of underneath all the solder joints. I saw one guy. These caps here can hold quite a bit of power still, voltage. I think 200 or 300 volts, something like that. It's DC. Yeah, so if you're going to be doing that, turn the board upside down, just get a resistor and short out between the terminals underneath the board here, on the other side. Just make sure there's no dangerous voltages there, that's all. You might even measure it with the voltmeter first. That would be a good idea. So once you've done that, obviously power's out, this is taken out, you've discharged any high voltages left in the capacitors. You should be fine to work on it then, it should be fine. Have a good look at it, check the solder joints underneath, that sort of thing. But in my case, I was really lucky, I was super lucky. So all it was this little fat capacitor had blown up just a little bit. Hard to see, but it is. And when I took it out of circuit, I measured it. It's actually open circuit, it's not short circuit. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, so it looked dodgy. They say, when in doubt, change it out. So that's what I did. So I ordered a part. There we go. Same specs. 470 microfarads in my case. 25 volt. So temperature rating the same. Don't know if that makes a huge difference, but yeah. So that's what I did. Slightly bigger than the old one, but still, for some reason. But that's yeah. So I put that in. Soldered it in just there, that one right down there. That's all it was. The rest of them look fine, totally fine. So I put that in, and guess what? It works. It turns on, works perfectly. No problems at all. So I'm hoping that should be the only problem. So that was extremely lucky, man. So I haven't put the lid on it, because I just wanted to show you that. So this is an awesome power supply. I mean, this is 860 watts. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so yeah, just showing you can be lucky, but maintain extreme caution when you're playing with power. Never, I don't recommend anyone ever try to diagnose a power supply with the power on and it running unless you're an expert. Unless you're an expert, you know how to avoid dangerous voltages and don't touch things you shouldn't and all the rest of it. Then don't ever play with something that's connected to the power on here and try and measure voltages. Unless extreme caution and you're well adverse to using multimeters and playing with voltages and things like that. So yeah, if you're DIY newbie in it, be very careful. Make sure it's totally disconnected. You dissipate any power at the back of the capacitors, large capacitors. Yeah, and then you should be okay. Yeah, so lucky for me, cost me nothing. It's probably worth, if you were to buy a second-hand one, it's probably, $50, $60, $70, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so there you go. It's always nice to fix something occasionally, and all the best. Hope you guys can fix a few things along the way and just maintain a lot of caution when you're playing with power as well. Alright, cheers, good luck, bye. Okay, just a quick update on the power supply. All working good. I've put it into a computer, checked the voltages already. They're running really nice, holding above 12 volts under full load, so that's super nice. And as you can see, I whacked it in a new PC case and I put perspex on the side, so it looks pretty cool. I'll turn that on. How good is that? Pretty good, eh? Yeah, so the power supply, no issues at all. Beautiful. Easily cater a machine like this. You can easily put in a bigger graphics card as well. That's a GTX 780. I think they take about 250 watts. This one doesn't go above about 380 watts total. That's easily capable for that power supply, no problems at all. Yeah, so very good. Hope you enjoy. Cheers.